Hey guys, Jeeps here, and welcome back to the Secret World. Today we're going to take a look at the ability and skill point systems. Now, as some of you may know, if you have not picked up the Secret World yet, but have been kind of considering it, a big thing they advertise is there's no leveling or classes in the traditional sense in this game. Instead, classes have been replaced by abilities and skill points. Leveling, likewise, has also kind of been replaced by those things as well, as they are what increase your power, I guess you could say. You do still get experience, but experience instead unlocks more skill and ability points to spend. So let's head on over to the ability wheel. Now you're probably looking at this and being like, what the hell is this thing? Well, let's go from the left over. On the left, we have Dex. This is something we're actually going to come back to. We're going to come back to Dex in a minute. Now, middle one and the right one, these two go right together. The middle one is just what abilities of the section of the wheel we're currently clicked on. As you can see, I'm clicked on this random bit of shotgun. So, what is all this? Well, as you can see, not counting these little miscellaneous bits, it's divided into thirds. You have a ranged third, a melee third, and a magic third. I have gone ranged with a little bit of melee. I'm using shotgun and hammer, as you've seen previously. So what does all this mean? So, you have 3 different ranged weapons, 3 different melee weapons, 3 different magic talismans, or let's use focuses, since talismans is effectively armor in this game. So the focuses. You pick your primary weapon after completing the introductory intro quest to the game, which is pretty cool. You pick your initial weapon, and that is your starting weapon. You then, pretty soon in, will have a quest that'll reward you with the ability to get another weapon. You can either then upgrade your main one, or very easily you can buy an incredibly basic version of another weapon used as a secondary weapon. This is kind of what determines your class, because you're going to want to be putting your ability points into abilities for these weapons. That just makes sense. So let's narrow this down a bit. If we go over to shotgun, look at the tier I've already got. Say this is the first tier shotgun. This is control. Notice I have all the abilities in control already, but you can unlock abilities for paying certain amounts of ability points, but you have to unlock them in order. For example, if you have 3 ability points, but you have nothing from control, you can't immediately go and unlock Breach Party. Admittedly, you wouldn't really want to because of how it works, but that's beside the point. So you have to unlock things in order and with the number of points. So say you have 3 points, you could, however, immediately unlock Hit and Run, Powder Burn, and Gunsmoke with those 3 points, and you'd have to do it in that order. Now, these red abilities and blue abilities are active abilities. These go on this bar. This is your hot bar. Your hot bar is only 7 things long. You can put 1 elite ability on it. Every tier ends in an elite ability. And then regular abilities, you obviously can have up to 6 more. I'm assuming you can just have 7 regular abilities, too, if you really don't want to use an elite for some reason. So you unlock things through here. Once you have completed both rows on the first tier of abilities, this unlocks the second tier, which has 6. Now, you're probably been wondering, what the hell are these little numbers? Well, it's time to go back to Dex. Dex are, I guess, more like your traditional classes, in that they are suggested lists of abilities to take. And these, generally they have 7 actives and 7 passives that they specifically want you to unlock throughout the thing. 1 elite for each, and they even have a recommended placement of where to put them on the bar. For example, I've been going down the Puritan path, mostly because I picked shotgun. There are 2 decks that have shotgun as weapon options in them, Puritan and Magus. This is again for Templar. I am assuming all these names are different per faction, though if I had to guess, they are probably mirrored. So, as you can see, I have 2 actives and 1 passive, plus both the required weapons for Puritan. I have, what is it called? Striker and Buckshot. And then I have Rapid Reload, which reduces the cooldown on Buckshot. Now this, if I hit Equip deck, if I were to have all these abilities, it would equip all these abilities in this order on my bars immediately. As I don't, it equips the ones I have in the places they are shown on there. This is kind of cool. This gives you, if you don't feel like messing around and trying to come up with a custom class, which the game very much allows you to do, you can just follow one of these. And on the way, you're going to be doing a custom class loadout anyway, effectively, because you're not going to be able to get all these abilities right away, because as you can see, most of them come from high tiers. So for early level, in quotes, content, you won't have all of these. As you can see, I have 3. Only 3. Now, there's one other cool thing with Puritan. As you can see, it says outfit next to the description. The description gives you a vague idea of what it does. What's this outfit thing? Well, it's what you might think. Finishing a deck unlocks an outfit. Now, on one hand, I think this is awesome because I'm vain and love customizing characters. Unlocking cool, unique outfits is awesome. We can look at a few. There's Puritan, Paladin. Well, none. Obviously doesn't have one. Magus is the other shotgun one. Warlock, Exorcist. I love this one. This one is awesome. Crusader, also very cool. Executioner, very cool. You get the idea. These are pretty awesome. These are pretty cool. But there is, in my opinion, a slight downside to this in that since the game does give you this big class system that kind of encourages experimenting with classes, decks really incentivize going with a deck instead, just because you unlock a unique outfit for completing one. Again, I personally love that because A, I just don't really feel like messing around coming up with something customized, and B, I'm going to be unlocking a sweet outfit as a result, and I like that. But, I don't know, when you have such an open class system, incentivizing using the pre-created ones is a little odd. That said, they do seem to cover pretty much, maybe not every possible combination, but they cover a lot of possible combinations. So it might not be too big of a deal. Now, since this game doesn't have levels, some of you are probably wondering, well, how does equipping gear work? Because normally, you'd have level restrictions. Does it just work by how many abilities you have unlocked? Well, no. This is where skills come in. If we go over to the skill points menu, you have, I wouldn't even say a tree, you have very linear paths, and you have skills for all the weapon types, and then talismans, which again are this game's equivalent of just armor. Since they, clothing is aesthetic, they give you this instead. Now, your skill in a specific weapon determines how high of a quality level, I believe it's called, weapon you can use. I don't think it's a direct one-to-one number, because I think quality level goes way above the skill tier numbers, because you can get up to, well, maybe not. 7, 8, no, it goes up to 10. I think QL 10 might be the highest, though I don't know. I'm not that far into the game yet, I don't know on that note, but as you can see, using shotgun, again as an example, there are 2 paths to go down. Usually one of them seems to almost always be damage, and then you have another one which is support or tanky, or, it's the alternate utility one, I guess you could say. It doesn't matter which one of these you have points in for determining your ability to use the levels of weapons. It'll just base off whichever one you have the highest in. As you can see, for damage, for shotguns, you get point blank, which just increases the damage you do pretty much at point blank range. Meanwhile, support uses, there are some shotgun abilities which put down a turret. Support buffs these. So actually, my 1 point in there isn't doing me any good whatsoever, because I don't have any of these abilities. Going on Puritan doesn't give me any of these abilities. Admittedly, I'll pick some up just getting to the abilities I do need. And, I don't know, I'm just not really using them either way. Now, talismans are slightly different. These only have 1 tree because there's not multiple things you can do with them. They are just stat sticks, I guess you could say. They just up your stats. What they do, however, is in addition to unlocking the higher ranking items, they give you bonuses. For example, having head talisman higher up gives you, ups your magical protection, major talismans ups your max health, and minor ups your physical protection. So increasing these is good in general, plus again, it lets you equip better, again in quote, armor. I know it's talismans, but armor is going to be what you would compare it to in a more traditional MMO. So I hope this has given you a bit of an idea how leveling, again in quotes, works in this game. It's different, it's unique, but it's not so completely unfamiliar as to be confusing. It's a little open-ended, but the decks give you a nice guideline of where to go, even if in some ways they discourage experimenting, maybe more than they should, but I really like getting unique outfits, so I don't care. And then, skill points replaces having level requirements, in addition to giving you, stat increases, which would replace where you would normally just level up. So alright guys, like, subscribe, share this video with your friends, leave a comment if you have any questions about it, or if you have anything you would like to discuss or bring up. I've been Jeeps. Talk to you guys later.